against a very, very good side. And that man, Phil Bentham, the referee, well, he could have it all on. It's going to be a ferocious start from Wigan. Can Widnes contain them in the opening 20 minutes?
Okay. Yes, Lewis Tierney is the other Wigan player sporting a blonde rinse. They're all the fashion in 2016, aren't they?
Well, I wish I had the opportunity, Eddie, but
you just go for a spray, Steve.
Okay,
you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Just spray the bonds, you'll be fine. Quick spit and polish, you'll be happy. Right, here we go. And they're underway, courtesy of Corey Thompson's kickoff. Here comes the first drive from the Wigan Warriors.
You know, it's an important aspect of our game of rugby league is that when you get the forward trying to take the ball up, the opposition, you've got to really let them know that this is not going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be one rough, tumble attack tonight.
Thing is, these two sides, while Warrington and Hull were battling it out at Wembley at the weekend, they have had the fortnight off, so they're coming into this match nice and fresh. Widnes have got arguably their strongest lineup on show for a few weeks, but this is Liam Farrell now for the Wigan Warriors, going down on tackle number 4, tackle low down and around the legs by Joe Mellor. That was Sargentson at dummy half. He finds Williams, and here is Willie Isa renewing acquaintances with his former Widnes colleagues, of course, tonight. And from the dummy half at Sam Powell, it goes to Tompkins. There's the first kick of the night from him. Underneath the boot of Rhys Hambry, and he collects it 5 metres away from his own post.
Interesting, isn't it, with the kick forward there? We mentioned the fact that George Williams probably will be taking control, first receiver. Don't be surprised if you see Sam Tompkins slot into that standoff position. Wouldn't surprise me if he keeps coming up, especially in attack.
Well, Steve-O, it makes a huge difference. It goes without saying when you've got a player with the experience of Matty Smith. 263 career games he's got chalked up so far. If you compare that to Shorrocks and Williams, who've got less than 100, their experience and their enthusiasm, rather than their enthusiasm, will have to get them through this game.
Wigan will miss Matty Smith. He hasn't missed a game for the Wigan Warriors since the start of last season. That's a deep kick, though, and it's far too deep, actually, from Kevin Brown, but the former Wigan man claps his hands. Sean Wayne watching on, as he always does, from high up here on the gantry.
And he fully knows that the fact that Kevin Brown and his kicking game is going to be so influential with the Vikings tonight. Just got a little bit too strong there with the kick.
Josh Charnley facing Widnes for the last time before he leaves for the rugby union ranks. And, well, Widnes will be pleased to see the back of him. Because he has scored tries in each of the last 6 home meetings against Widnes. 18 tries in that run. 21 tries in all for Josh Charnley in matches against Widnes over the years. Fantastic record he's got. Here is Tompkins. Gets the ball away to young Jake Shorrocks. Tries to go inside Kevin Brown. Dennis Betts, ex-Wigan legendary player and coach, of course. And Tompkins, well, he was hit a little bit late then by Cahill. He's gone down in a heap after that kick downfield. The officials see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think he was committed already.
First move!
See there, he'd already committed himself with the loose forward Cahill. Nothing wrong, not surprising. Touch judges completely ignored it.
Well, interesting to see how Widnes will take on Wigan. If you look at the size of the patch, Widnes have probably got the bigger set of forwards. Wigan have already started to move the ball around, changing direction. The forwards are changing, going at the line, changing the footwork, sorry, and they're really looking to get in to this Widnes side. Whereas Widnes, what do? They just tuck the ball under the wing, run as hard as they can, try and get a quick play of the ball.
Well, you're right, Terry, because they really have got the power in the forwards of the visitors tonight.
Cahill to his feet, plays the ball to White. Mellor will hoist the high kick. Now this is a tester for Tierney and Tompkins. Tierney, it bounces off his chest. Golden opportunity here off the feet of Kevin Brown, was it?
That was try time. If that would have just popped up, I'm surprised that Kevin Brown went with the hands. Maybe he would have been better off. But it was a real schmozzle here, wasn't it? Tierney,
tackled in the air, it's a penalty anyway. Was he tackled, Stuart?
Well, he's barged into him, hasn't he? It's the winger comes into him. Before he has a chance to catch the ball, he's made contact with him, and that's what the penalty's for.
Well, the writing is on the wall as far as Dennis Betts and the Widnes outfit are concerned. He didn't look very confident, did he, Tierney, on that high kick.
Move.
So expect plenty more of that.
Liam Farrell to his feet, plays the ball to Sargentson. Here is Williams. He drops the ball off to Ryan Sutton. He's missed the Super 8 opener here against Wakefield. It's Sutton. He nearly had the shirt ripped off his back then, and the referee wasn't happy with that from Buchanan, so it is a penalty to Wigan.
Interference.
Well, that was silly of Buchanan. He'd already been called held, and he was trying to get up and play the ball, and then he just had a second dig.
So it's a gift of territory here for Wigan. They start this set 21 metres away, and this is Ben Flower now. Tackled by Greg Burke, by Buchanan, and also Cahill.
Watch for the inside switch.
And it's a penalty here that goes Widnes's way, because Flower was trying to get up to his feet, and in the process he bundled Buchanan to the floor.
Yeah, and you'll see that Flower moves forward off the mark and then tries to pinch the penalty. Well, Phil Benton's been around too long to be kidded by that.
And it's a good penalty to give, because we see it too often, players pushing into the marker, trying to win the penalty, and it's good to see the referee taking that out of the game, because they'll be afraid to do that again. Otherwise, obviously, they're going to get penalised.
And a good long raking penalty as well, which takes Widnes over the halfway line. They will start again here with Christine, who passes the ball inside to Matt Whitley.
You know, it's amazing. We often see, far too often in my opinion, that two balls go out onto the field of play when the opposition have got a penalty to kick in. And that slows everything down, because Widnes didn't have the opportunity there to take a quick tap.
Here they come now with Brown, who finds Mellor. They'll be relishing this opportunity tonight. Once again, Kevin Brown and Joe Mellor, former Widnes halfbacks, Wigan halfbacks, of course, themselves. This is Lloyd White, and off the ball, Cahill was tackled then by Ryan Sutton without the ball.
And there was also a bit of an obstruction there. It looked for a moment where Phil Bentham was going to blow. Widnes man certainly stopped and prevented one of the Wigan players.
We're on the last tackle. Brown with a little dink into the space that has presented itself over there. And it's going to be a goal line dropout. That was a lovely little kick from Kevin Brown. Tompkins tidying it up.
Well, no one was talking. No one was shouting, it's mine, it's mine. Look at this. Total confusion. Are you going to get it? Am I going to get it? Each stopped up. It's always better for the man that's running towards the ball, which was Sam Tompkins. Whether Tompkins had a call, probably he did. But you should always make sure. And Anthony Gelling made a real meal of that. But if you're running towards the ball, Tez, it's so easy.
You've guessed Anthony Gelling's call for that ball. He's made an attempt for it. It's gone straight through his arm. So Sam Tompkins was quite happy to just sit back and let the centre deal with it.
Buchanan will take it forward for Widnes on the repeat set then.
Move, Willie!
Lloyd White is waiting at dummy half, the Welsh international hooker. Here is Whitley. He has an impressive year, this young man, Matt Whitley. Could he be a dark horse contender for the Young Player of the Year? White gets the ball away to Mellor. Good footwork from Mellor. He gets it then to Greg Burke. What would he give for a try against his former club? Not this time. He's halted just a metre short. Mellor is there now at dummy half. Goes left and finds Kevin Brown. Brown with a kick to the corner. It's a great kick as well. He was so close. Oh, and a nasty collision for Stephen Marsh. Straight into the advertising hoardings, and that is nasty. He's caught his knee and his thigh, and his foot, look, is trapped underneath those advertising hoardings. He's still stuck over there on the far side, limping away.
Yeah, and he really has got himself in an awkward position. And watch the boot go right underneath the advertising hoarding.
Goal 2.
Well, it's they were down to 12 men. Wigan knew that.
This is Bateman. Difficult man to put down. Look at this. So dangerous.
Yeah, committed chase, isn't it?
Well, the idea was good, as we've seen for many years now. Kevin Brown is the architect of so many tries.
The sprinklers were on here at the DW Stadium for much of the afternoon, by the way. They do that on a regular basis, match days. They certainly do it for the soccer. When Wigan Athletic are in action here, and they've done it again today, because it's been fairly dry for the past week or so in this part of the world. In fact, longer than that. Probably that's why they water the pitch.
Yeah, move. I walked across it earlier, and it was very firm indeed.
2. Move, Liam.
Might get a pitch report from one of our two resident agronomists with us in a moment, Terry and Barry. They know all about how to grow grass.
I'm glad you explained it to them first.
Jake, hands
I
up.
couldn't have answered the question anyway.
Oh, lovely take. Here goes Reece Hanbury. And Hanbury's taking on Tompkins, trying to turn him one way, then the other. Gets the ball wide. Good ball it was too. And that's Stephen Marsh who goes down on the Tompkins tackle. Well, the Wigan defence is in some disarray. Here now is Brown. A kick to the corner maybe for Corey Thompson. He's found him inside one, inside two. Stroll in. Great try, Corey Thompson. Wonderful start for the Widnes Vikings. Corey Thompson with his 22nd try of the season. They're just going to check the onside offside.
We've got to try.
They have a try on the field. They want to check the onside offside. Stuart, normally when they get these kicks out wide, the players time it to perfection.
But I'll be very surprised if Thompson is in front of the kick. So all the chase is there. We don't know where Thompson is. He's out wide. It'll be interesting to see whether we can get a shot at that. Obviously the decision on field is for a try. So if we don't get any evidence that he is offside, the try will stand. And
Touch
again,
judge has had a perfect view of this though, Stuart, didn't he?
it's the touch judge on the far side that's actually called it. Tony Martin on this side, you can see he's not in position to judge the line of the kick, but whether we actually see where he was when the kick was made will be a different matter. And again, Thompson's outside of the picture, so because if we can't prove that he's offside, the try will stand.
When Kevin Brown looks up, he checks where his winger is. And I'm sure if John Wells has a little look at half-time, if he can zoom in on Kevin Brown's head and where he's looking, he checks, he looks to his winger, he sees that, or he thinks that he sees that he's onside. Is he onside or is he offside?
Well, he's pretty quick, isn't he, the winger, Corey Thompson? But as you rightly say, Stuart, there's nothing on these pictures to prove otherwise than this is a legitimate try.
Yeah, it's got to be given as far as I'm concerned. And once again, we see the excellent skills from Kevin Brown. The kick was outrageously good. It certainly caught the Wigan defence. And as you say, Corey Thompson has got plenty of speed.
Some finish in it, Steve-O. The balance, the footwork, the strength. The big see you later from the winger. Does he get his try?
I think he does. They've looked at the ground and looked like this is going to be given the green light by Ben Thaler. And try it is. 22nd try of Corey Thompson's outstanding first year in the Super League. A new extension to his contract. He's at Widnes for the next 2 seasons as well. He's the top try scorer. That's his 23rd in all competitions, 22nd in the Super League.
And there you see the fullback Reece Hanbury. Wasn't the best pass, he had to reach back for it, but in and out it made sure that Sam Tompkins had committed himself. Tompkins did well to finally get there in the end. It was good work to get onto Stephen Marsh, but then the skill of Kevin Brown, he saw him there. It was touch and go whether he was offside. It could not be proved, and that's TRY, folks.
There's so much to admire. We see the conversion attempt from Lloyd White.
Goes wrong side of the post.
So much to admire about that try. First of all, the offload, the push-up support from Reece Hanbury. Stephen Marsh, who's, let's not forget, only moments ago collided with the advertising hoarding, really hurt himself. He got on the end of the break, and that is an outstanding finish from Corey Thompson.
It was. Nothing to definitively prove that he was in an offside position, so the try stands. Mellor's underneath the kickoff. Here comes Jack Buchanan.
Amazing, isn't it? We've already seen 4 kicks from Kevin Brown in the early part of this game, and if there's any message that wants to get out to the Wigan defence, is that you've just got, oh, that's a big error, and that comes out. That's forced by a beautiful tackle.
It is, and Bateman has hold of the loose ball, goes down on the 0 tackle here. Great hit that was.
That was a good shot, wasn't it, from Flower and from Sutton. Straight under the ball from Matt Whitley.
Well, there's been a bit of argy-bargy between Houston and Bateman, I think, here. Pushing and shoving on the ground.
Well, he's just trying to buy a little bit of time while he's effecting that tackle. And this space, this pause in play won't do Widnes any harm. They'll readjust, they'll get back in position. Chris Houston, who's been a solid performer, he'll take that penalty, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a rugged player, isn't he, Chris Houston? He doesn't mess around, and let's face it, neither does John Bateman. That will be something to watch throughout this game.
Willie Isa goes down 10 metres away from the Widnes line. Powell goes to the right-hand side. This is Shorrocks, drops the ball off to Bateman again. Houston is the man who got first to him. Powell, 5 metres away, looks for the runner. Ben Flower, just short of the line. Rumbustious, rugged run from the Welsh international. Powell at dummy half, fires the pass back. That's Shorrocks. Here now is Williams. Williams puts boot to ball, and Mellor knocks on.
Well, the idea was good, and I think that Williams is very, very pleased that they've come up with a knock on. Yeah, just couldn't get it, could it, Mellor? Reached out with the left hand. More pressure they've got to soak up.
Hasn't missed a game this year, Joe Mellor. Absent for the cup win at Rochdale, though. That was in Super League. He hasn't missed a game all year. Sean Wayne, well, won't be terribly impressed with the scoreline, but will be happy that we can have the head and feed here at this scrum, just 10 metres out. A glorious opportunity for his team. As Shorrocks gets it away to Anthony Gelling again. Hat-trick last time we saw him, of course, a fortnight ago in the 25-0 victory over the Saints. Isa once more. Sutton, big hit by Greg Burke.
It certainly was. That really shook him up there, Sutton.
Flower to Williams, to Tompkins, quick hands. Sargentson, Lewis Tierney manages to stay inside the whitewash, but with all that pressure on him, that's good defence from Widnes. Over he goes, head and feed at the forthcoming scrum to Widnes.
Well, they did well to recover them. Corey Thompson, he shoots the line, he bites in, and Joe Mellor, he backs off and just buys a bit of time, hits Lewis Tierney, and then as soon as he hits him, his teammates are supporting. That's great attitude. Look at the amount of black shirts. They're pushing Lewis Tierney out of the field of play.
Speaking to Dennis Betts yesterday, of course he's in the England setup as well. He will be working with Wayne Bennett to try and get some success in the Four Nations in the autumn. Dennis Betts on the left-hand side of the screen alongside Mick Cassidy, once upon a time of Wigan himself, of course. Dennis saying this is where Widnes want to be in the future. They want to be tangling with some of the big names in the Super League competition, loving the chance to be involved in these Super 8s rather than being involved as they were last year in that scramble to avoid the relegation in the middle 8s.
And it just shows you that they are improving season after season. Amazing, isn't it? You know, Joe Mellor, they put him out way out into the centres, outside the centres on this right-hand fringe. Because they don't feel that he's got a good tackling technique, but he was excellent on that occasion.
Whoops, there's another little fumble and a fiddle by Mellor, but he managed to hang on there just the same.
5 last. Goal 5.
Now, a kick long and downfield from Lloyd White, but straight into the arms of Sam Tompkins, who gives it then to Tierney.
It's always difficult to find space when you play against Wigan. They drop the two wingers and the full-back back. Because Widnes are going for distance, that's the reason why Sam Tompkins and his wingers are stood with great depth.
Yeah, and that puts a lot of doubt in my mind in regards why Dennis Betts waits until the last tackle. I always feel you're better if you go either on the third or the fourth before those two wingers have dropped back.
Here is Tompkins now, finds Sargentson. He's been one of Wigan's best this year as Dan Sargentson, heading off to the NRL at the end of the campaign. Will be with the Gold Coast. Sutton, who is another who's had a fantastic season. Big young forward. Tompkins goes the aerial route. This is spiralling all over the place. Well claimed. Tompkins on his opposite number, Reece Hambury. Oh, and a quick play, the ball nearly too quick. Evan Marsh makes a little run away from the danger zone. 26 years of age is Stephen Marsh, by the way, on Saturday.
Boy, you had to get there quickly. There's one thing playing the ball very, very sharply when make sure that one of your players is understanding to be there, but Marsh just got there in time. It was a beautiful kick, though, wasn't it, by Sam Tompkins? Well followed up by the fullback as well. Great tackle.
Jack Buchanan, not missed a match since he arrived in May. Long kick and straight into the arms of Tompkins from Mellor. Not the best.
And again, they wait until the last there, and you can see he was in a good position, Sam Tompkins. Obviously, you've got the confidence. Dennis Betts obviously feels that their defence will keep them within their own half. so important in this game of rugby league that if you can get into the opposition half, your final kick or your kick on the fourth will get you way downfield.
Liam Farrell will be putting out the welcome mat, no doubt, for younger brother Connor when he gets on the field off the Widnes substitutes bench. Powell gets it away to Williams. He skips through one challenge. Can't get away from the second man in, who was Chris Houston. Sargentson, wide he goes to Shorrock. Shorrock's then to Bateman. Good defence again from Widnes. They're muscling up well against these tenacious Wigan runners. Gelling at dummy half, goes the short side, gets the boot to ball and wasted, I'm afraid.
Yeah, he won't get many pats on the back from his coach Sean Wayne on that occasion.
And that's the area of the game where they feel they've got most improvements. Obviously coming away from their own line. During that game against St Helens, they made too many basic fundamental errors that put them under pressure. They want to finish their sets better, and I would give the opening 17 and a half minutes, even though they're in front on the scoreboard, Widnes, they look very comfortable when they're defending. In this part of the pitch, they look very comfortable, and they've been better than their opposition.
Well, last weekend, Hull FC were creating history at Wembley. Tomorrow night, they're at St Helens to take on the Saints in the Super 8s, 7:30 Sky Sports 1. Saturday, we've got a cracking double-header for you. Hull KR against Lee from the qualifiers, Saturday at 3 on Sky Sports 2, followed by the beaten Cup finalists Warrington against the Catalan Dragons, who are desperate for a win. 5 o'clock that one starts, and it's Sky Sports 2 again. Great weekend of rugby league coming up here on your Rugby League channel. Lovely play off the fingertips and forward from Christine.
Oh, he threw the dummy, went through the half break. Maybe he should have kept hold of the ball and gone on his own, taken the tackle. You could see there he just had to lean back for it, didn't he, Christine?
Happy that was a knock-on, Stuart?
Yes, it's gone forward from his hand. Just goes straight there. It's a knock-on as opposed to a forward pass, but he was never in possession of it.
So nearly 19 minutes gone. Widnes clinging on to this 4-point advantage that they have. But we'll have to face another 6 tackles here because Wigan getting the head and feed at the scrum. Williams feeding it. The absence of Matty Smith. He's operating at scrum half tonight. Matty Smith losing his ever-present record in this Wigan side. And Sargentson trying to get a quick play the ball away. Mellor was all over him. And so the referee says that will be a penalty because there was a little tug at the ankle.
Yeah, the one thing about Dan Sargentson, you can guarantee that he will let the referee know that he wants to get up and play the ball quickly. If he starts shimmying and shaking, putting your boot around, then the referee, he'll probably say, I'm going to penalise you.
Move down! Square!
So Sam Powell waits at dummy half, midway inside this Widnes half of the field. Williams gets the ball wide to Shorrocks again. Tompkins, good ball to Gelling, good tackling. Great tackle by Stefan Marsh, that was. Tompkins then. Shorrocks. Promising, isn't he, this Jake Shorrocks, only 20 years of age. He's played 7 of the last 10. Yet another penalty goes Wigan's way. I wonder how much longer before Phil Bentham puts Widnes on a team warning.
Well, Buchanan went to second go to him as well.
That's 5 penalties Widnes have conceded in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, they've had field position, Wigan. They really need to get that scoreboard working. Good run.
Great run from Ben Flower. 2 metres shy of the line. Powell will give it some width and find Williams. He then gives it to Farrell. Farrell was looking to return the compliment to Williams, but he disappeared and Sargentson had overrun him. So Sargentson slots in at dummy half, comes down this side, tries to get the kick away, played at 6 to go. 6 to go for Wigan. Farrell, flat pass. Here's Sutton. Good tackling by Houston. Another big test of this Widnes defence on the way.
They stretch on that right-hand side. Oh, they've come out of the line. It's going to be a long ball, surely.
No.
Oh, Shorrock should have really looked to get it out there on that right.
Good work from Hanbury first and Lloyd White. This is Tompkins. Short ball to Bateman. Great tackle by Kevin Brown. They're keeping them out. That's 3 tackles gone. Can they hang on for another 3? Widnes as the ball finds Shorrocks again. Good ball from him then to George Williams. Williams looking to unlock this defence on his own. That's a high shot from Houston. Referee says play on. Powell goes in at dummy half. Down the short side again with Bateman. Wide it goes to Charnley. Charnley looking for his customary try against Widnes. It won't be forthcoming on this occasion. We've reached tackle 5. Here's the last.
He's not done.
Williams has dropped it. The referee says play on. The kick wasn't good. Here comes the response with Rhys Hanbury. Widnes have survived, and the turning defence into attack.
Well, there were 3 attempts to knock his head off. Not seen by the official or the touch judges. Well, it was a poor kick. Gave them the opportunity. And you can see there that Sargentson holding down Cahill.
Here's another penalty.
Yeah, and he had to be as well. He tries to be too crafty, Sargentson.
Remarkable. We've had 7 penalties tonight, I think, throughout the entire Challenge Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. There was half a dozen penalties at best, Stuart.
Well, I think it comes down to the players. We've seen the players, certainly tonight, who are willing to lock up the play of the ball and prevent quick play of the ball. We didn't see that last week, which is why Gareth Ewer could let the game go.
So here come Widnes on the back of that penalty then, and this is Whitley again.
Play on, 0.
He's lost it.
Oh, he's lost the ball. What an opportunity lost. Jeremiah all over Willie Isa. But that's no good as far as Widnes are concerned. That was turned over on tackle 1.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed to turn the ball over. Yeah, Matt Whitley loses the ball on the first carry, but they defended the line heroically. They've got to come up with the same sorts of efforts up near the opposition's line as well.
Tolima Tautai is on the field for Wigan now, and he is brought to ground 3 or 4 metres shy of halfway. Powell gets it away to Bateman again. Houston meets him head on.
Good work by the hooker, Sam Powell there. I love that little short step, and then he just offloads a flat pass.
And this is big Frank Paul Nuasala. Will get to his feet, plays the ball on tackle number 5. Last one coming up then for Wigan. They're running it. Shorrock's angled kick down the line. Oh! Hanbury nearly made a porridge of that. And it was a very, very good job that Stephen Marsh was there to tidy up for him.
Yeah, good positioning by the winger, Marsh. It's always nice to make sure that you have what we call a second opinion. He certainly put himself in that position. It's a real bad miss. Not a bad little kick through, but it's getting frustrating for the Wigan side. They're finding it very difficult to make through this very good defence. Good work there from Jeremiah.
Yes, and what's more, the penalty forthcoming because he wanted to get on with it.
He's got to say something to both sides. Bring the 2 captains and say, come on, stop this. It's ruining the game.
8 penalties, 24 minutes gone. Even I can do the maths. That's 3 a minute. Well, 1 every 3 minutes. I can't do the maths.
I would have left it first time, Eddie. Some great urgency from Widnes, isn't it? When they have the ball, when they've not got the ball, they're turning up for each other. They're getting out and they're playing off decent, quick play of the balls. And Wigan at the minute are in a battle.
This is Gil Dodson.
Is it a switch to the blind?
Send us your tweets at Sky Sports RL, hashtag AskSkyRL. We do our best to answer the best ones after the match for you.
Well, the switch was on, but it was well watched there by Anthony Gelling. He knew that was going back onto that blind side.
Here's Gil Dodson, yet another ex-Wigan player off the bench.
Now, will
Kevin the ball 11 metres away.
Sorry, Eddie, will Kevin Brown go early with a kick? No, it looked like Mellor.
There was a knock-on by Wigan, so it's a 0 tackle here. Christine has got it. They're all disputing the fact.
And they're checking on, is it George Williams as well? Seeing if he's okay.
Looks like a blood problem.
I think it's a head injury. The referee's concerned about a head injury, so he wants a physio to look at him.
This 0 tackle, it's a knock-on by Wigan.
It's a knock-on by Wigan, the referee has just confirmed because of the knock-on.
Oh, collided with the knee.
Just searching a little bit there for the knock-on by Wigan, Stuart.
I think it's against George Williams.
Yeah.
I think he obviously feels there's a knock-on at that point.
Well, Matt Whitley certainly made contact with the knee, and it certainly wasn't intended.
Well, the referee has made his decision. I don't think this is for anyone's benefit, only our viewers, while we wait for Williams to have the treatment. And now George, it's sorted, so we'll get going again. And it's the 0 tackle here, so 7 from here for the Vikings. That's another good drive in from young Jay Chapelhow. Here's Jeremiah. Jeremiah gets it back to Kevin Brown. Drops the ball off to Houston. He's dropped to his back by the flying tackle, finished off by Tully Matautai. Heremiah again, still Heremiah, thought about the pass. Tompkins and Tautai deal with the threat. 5 metres made, 5 metres away from that Wigan line. White to Brown, short ball Dodson. Dodson taking them on. So many in this Widnes side with Wigan pedigree, they'd love a try. That's a knock-on. That's a knock-on by Dodson. And no wonder Dennis Betts drops his head.
He can't believe it, Betts.
Good tash, by the way, on Gil Dodson. Good tash.
Not a good knock-on.
He looks like Tom Hardy in one of his films. I'm sure he's had that said to him.
Steve looks like Oliver Hardy, so we've got both of them out there tonight.
Yeah, there's good squeeze from Wigan, particularly after contact. What they do is they squeeze you tight, they make you really uncomfortable. Oppositions surrender to the tackle. There's a little bit more work to do, and unfortunately for Gil Dodson, he loses control of the ball. It's a sloppy play of the ball, and they give away a prize. Possession and position.
Well, Eddie, I'm scratching my head over that one.
Charnley here now for the Wigan Warriors. Coming up to 27 minutes on the watch. Harry Jepson, OBE, a true rugby league star, of course. The late, great Harry Jepson passed away this week. So sad, at the age of 96. Tonight at 10:30 on Sky Sports 1. It's also available on demand. A wonderful interview with one of the great characters of this great game.
Yeah, Mr. Rugby League, I call him. We'll miss him, that is for sure.
Engaging character, wasn't he?
Unbelievable.
Lovely fella. Loved the modern game. Loved to tell you tales from the 40s, the 50s. He had an incredible memory. He could tell you stories from decades ago, but unfortunately he couldn't remember what underwear he had on. Lovely man.
So here is Wigan with Sam Powell in centre field with Williams now. Tautai going in solidly and strongly, smuggling the ball back. Willie Isa drops on it.
Get square, lads. Hold, go.
Sam Powell. Powell then gets it to the right-hand side. Jake Shorrocks. It's Tautai. Oh, and he's off the possession up. Widnes have got it back.
Well, both sides need to clean up. A couple of the 1%ers. Widnes not giving the penalties away, not just trying to slow Wigan down a bit, and then Wigan, when they get in good field position, don't turn the ball over so cheaply.
Terry, I mentioned it earlier that Wigan looked frustrated. I think that they thought, that's a big problem for Williams.
But he got a bang on the head, didn't he? He got a bang on the head about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
And hold.
Well, a golden opportunity now for Wigan with the man that's supposed to make sure that he's the architect and getting Wigan going forward in attack.
Well, Williams off, the reigning young player of the year. Matty Smith off. This is Chapel House striding through the would-be tacklers. It's a great run from Chapel House, still going, and eventually brought to ground by Liam Farrell.
What a great run there by Chapel House.
Looping pass, another looping pass wide. Try in the corner. It's Corey Thompson again for his second. Is he going to give it this time, the referee?
Sam, move away.
I think Sam Tompkins is having a word with the touch judge.
Well, I don't know why. It looked okay as far as I'm concerned.
I think they're just going to check the touch line, whether there's a foot in touch.
Tackle 4.
They have a try on the field, and it was a brilliant finish by Thompson, providing his foot didn't touch the whitewash, Stuart.
Well, that's what they're asking for. I think it was his leap into the in-goal area. Does he manage to stay away from the whitewash? He hasn't got to touch it. Certainly, so far we're okay. We're well clear of it.
He knows how to finish, doesn't he, Corey Thompson?
Well, he jumps off his left foot anyway. It's well away from there.
What a try
with that try.
What a try from Corey Thompson. That's one for the scrapbook.
And tell you what, great camera work as well, wasn't it? This will be confirmation. Oh, the black and whites. They're in heaven at the moment. TR time. Thompson, 2 tries on the board.
Widnes delighted. Wigan fans booing. What on earth they're booing for, I don't know. They've got eyes, they can see the big screen as well as we can. But Chapel House run, Steve-O set this up.
Unbelievable, but not only that, he looks like a player that doesn't know how to get into top gear. But I tell you what, in second gear, he was still moving forward. And again, the brilliance of that long ball out wide, finished to perfection. Wigan fans think perhaps it might have been a forward pass.
No, there's nothing wrong with this. Corey Thompson, that's just a brilliant finish. He knows how to score tries. We saw it, the opening try that he scores, he just hugs the touchline, he just waits for the ball to come over to him. I just think that's a great finish. It's a flatline ball.
And Stuart, isn't that the perfect example of that dreadful Steve-Oism, the momentum rule? They've missed the conversion again, but he was in front of the ball when it reached Corey Thompson.
It is. All you have to do is look at his hands. The ball comes out of his hands sideways. That's not a forward pass.
I just think this is a great piece of skill.
And look where he finishes up, Joe Mellor. Way ahead of the ball that lands in the arms of Thompson. And what a finish. Never mind the boos for the alleged forward pass that never was. Just enjoy this finish.
Well, the accuracy and the power to get it probably 20 metres right on the button for Corey Thompson. The skill involved, and again the finish. You look at this as many times as you want. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's going to get pressure from the inside from the Wigan defender. Oliver Gildart does his best to push him into touch. Fantastic finish.
Well, Sam Tompkins was concerned about the forward pass. I think that's why he was in the face of the touch judge originally. He wasn't obviously complaining about a possible foot in touch. But when they look at that again, I think Wigan will concede. Nothing wrong with the pass.
Well, certainly I don't think so. There's a long pass out wide. When the player's running forward, it always has some momentum on it. So nothing wrong with it.
Here's an interesting statistic from Ian Proctor. It's the 6th time that Corey Thompson has scored 2 tries or more in a match this season, and Widnes have won the previous 5.
Well, a trailing leg from John Bateman has made its mark.
He's in flush in the face, doesn't he, Steve Oz? He's trying to get round, get to marker. There you go. Just catches him, no malice in that. John Bateman immediately knows he's caught him. And poor old Reece Hambury.
Oh, that could be a broken jaw or anything.
They're smart a lot.
They apologised straight away. Reece Hambury just shook hands with him.
Yes, it was a total accident. Total accident, but that could be awful. And look at that.
Well, there's the respect for each other.
That's the game.
Yeah,
that's the game that we love.
He took a stray knee in the face. He gets straight up. John Bateman apologised. He accepts the apology and straight back into the game.
It's not tiddlywinks, fellas, as we well know. But Wigan really have to shake their feathers here. They could find themselves conceding yet another try.
Mellor once again. Back it comes now to Brown. Brown goes wide, and it's Christine. Oh, did they lose the count then?
Yeah, they didn't get to the kick. They just wanted to run the ball. Sam Tompkins now has come up from full-back. He's playing in the halves because George Williams gone off. And if you look at Wigan, like no Sean O'Loughlin, no Matty Smith, no George Williams at present, no Mickey McLaurin. There's some big-name players that's not on the pitch at the minute.
Well, if you look at the list that's out, Matty Smith, Sean O'Loughlin, Dom Manfredi, Michael McAlorum all season, Joel Tompkins for the season, Tony Clubb, Dom Crosby, all out of this Wigan side.
Well, it's time now for Sam Tompkins to turn the clock back and go into his half-back position role that became very famous when he came to Wigan as a youngster. And he's the man out there that can turn the tide. They certainly need something.
Big Frank Paul flicks the pass away. Powell wasn't expecting that. Liam Farrell got the ball from him. Here is Lewis Tierney.
Did well, Tierney, there to just go to down very, very quickly indeed.
Liam Farrell.
He wanted somebody to run straight onto that ball. Tilly Matautai back on his heels.
Last one here. Powell, Tompkins dabs it towards the in-goal area. It's gobbled up by Reece Hambury.
Well, in the opening 32 minutes, Widnes seemed to be dealing with all the threats, all the questions Wigan asking. This is good defence, but good offload.
Was it ever? Yeah. Well, it's all over the place, isn't it, Joe Mellor?
Yes, he was. I just have a slight question about the pull and the drag. Look, Powell's pulling, not pushing.
It should have been a penalty.
Well, it should have been called held. When you see a player drag, the referee should call held. If they continue to drag, that will be the penalty.
Did well, though, didn't he? The flick out the back. Well, they're building in confidence of the Widnes side.
7 minutes to half-time. They're leading by 8 points to 0. Remember, Wigan, last time we saw them on this ground a fortnight ago, they nilled St Helens. Sargentson operating now, just in that moment, at full-back. Takes a good run forward. Draws applause from this Wigan crowd. Then gets the penalty. penalty from the referee, Jay Chappell, having a second push. I think he's running out of patience now, Phil Bentham.
Surely he's been. I've been calling him to call the captains.
Well, he's calling Kevin Brown to him now of Widnes.
Well, they'll bring Sam Tompkins as well. I mean, they've both been doing it.
So what we need is an improvement, okay?
An improvement is required, says Phil Bentham.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's a ploy. All the coaches want to do that.
Slow to play the ball.
Yeah, of course they do. I mean, you know, if you can get away with it, so be it. But it doesn't do the game any good. Fans don't get value for money.
Tautai stands. The referee's called the tackle held. Powell to Shorrocks. Bateman. Well, Widnes fans appealing for a possible obstruction there.
I'll tell you what, Phil Bentham had Phil Bentham had the whistle to his mouth and then put it back down.
Tautai standing, thought about getting rid of it again. Took the tackle instead. Powell. Tompkins. Back it comes. Sargentson tries to go around Mellor. Good tackle again by Joe Mellor.
And hold. Goal 4.
Farrell.
Still 4.
Shorrocks.
Well, they're trying everything.
Good work by
everything.
Great work by Brown. He got the ball back. And it's Charlie Runciman who runs it away.
Sean Wayne,
Marsh.
sorry, Eddie, but Sean Wayne is furious because he knows that Wigan are just going from side to side. There's no real impetus to go forward.
That's a good hit.
Stand.
You see, that could have been a penalty. Tautai.
Sam Paulo with the initial challenge that was really good. Mellor.
4. Move.
Down he goes. Remember, Wigan, third in the table. Sean Wayne won the League Leaders' Shield in his first year in charge. Hull and Warrington to come in the Super 8s.
Stand.
Destiny's very much in their own hands to finish top of the pile 2016. Brown here with a crossfield kick. This is high. This has got danger all over it.
No touch.
No touch by anybody. Apart in the end from the man who scored the 2 tries. And he finds himself in row A of the stand.
But again, we are seeing no confidence from this Wigan outfit. No one was shouting for it. It's mine. Got himself in a good position. And Kevin Brown and the coach, Dennis Betts, he'll know that we'll have plenty more of that in the second half. Thank you very much indeed.
Hold.
4 minutes from the half-time siren. Dan Sargentson or Kevin Brown will be talking to John Wells after the match at the touchscreen, full-time here. So it'll either be Dan Sargentson or Kevin Brown. That's a London accent or a Wigan accent with a Yorkshire accent with John Wells.
Goal 4.
Here is Sargentson. Gets the ball away.
5.
Good work again by Houston. They've defended magnificently, Widnes.
Yeah, they have, and they're coming in on the angle. It's what we often refer to as an umbrella defence, but it's effective.
That's a great kick from Tompkins. Deep into Widnes territory. Right side of the corner post as well.
Yeah, we'll take in control. Sam Tompkins at the back end of the set, but Widnes, I agree, they've just been so committed and determined in defence. At times when they know that they're short of numbers, they're backing off, they're waiting for Wigan to make the play. When they know that they have got numbers, Dennis Betts has done a very good job of telling the players to get up and put pressure, get in the eye line, make them play early.
Of course, a
great coach is Dennis Betts. What do you think he will gain working alongside Wayne Bennett this autumn?
It doesn't matter what industry you're involved with, sport or commerce, if you are working alongside a guru, and let's face it, Bennett is a guru as far as I'm concerned, you have to improve.
First, move, Willie.
Well, will Wigan have a big 0 against their name at half-time when you'll be able to talk to Steve-O on Twitter at Sky Sports RL, hashtag #AskSkyRL. Talk to the lad. They've only got how many more times? About 6 more. Okay, 5 more chances to talk to you on Twitter, Steve-O, this year.
I'd rather refer to it as 31 days' time.
This is Hanbury. Hasn't the year flown by? Here we are in the Super 8s. We're not far away from the grand final on the 8th of October. It has flown past. Mind you haven't been here for most of it.
5. Move.
At my age, you often convalesce.
Brown in centre field, hoist the kick, spinning all over the shop. This well claimed by Sargentson.
You know, they're leading 8-0, and it could prove costly that they didn't convert those 2 tries. But it's surprising that they're waiting until the last, when really, near to half-time, kick early, turn them around and put it into touch.
I think they're enjoying possession, Widnes. I think they've gone out with a specific game plan. They look like they've got no risk coming away from their own line, and when they're in their opposition's half and they can put pressure, they've got bags of ideas, and Tez has picked up already the 1%ers are the things that are missing from this Wigan outfit. They look far from a side that could challenge for the league leaders. Shield.
Well, they need just one more point to be mathematically 100%. I mean, they're there already, to be fair, in the semi-finals just about. But to be mathematically 100% certain of being in the semi-finals, Wigan needs something from this match. As I say, they've got Hull and Warrington still to come. And yet, high kick here from Tompkins. Pouched by Thompson.
And yet the dominance that we've seen from Widnes, and Wigan are only 8 points behind. And that is the one thing that Sean Wayne will be able to say to his charges at half-time. Say, come on, we've got to sort it out. It won't help by the fact that they've lost George Williams.
Move, keep coming, Salima.
I don't think I'll say that calmly. I don't think I'll say that calmly, Steve. He'll be into his team.
Here's a Widnes penalty. Standing square, and this will just about sort out the remaining 20 seconds of this first half.
Well, that'll be a kick into touch, and then, not surprisingly, Wood is made it in touch. They'll have the scrum down.
Well, Charlie is claiming he was airborne when he flicked that ball back.
Time off.
Well, it stopped. It stopped the clock, so 7 seconds remaining. This has got to be...
No, his foot was on the whitewash. He's in touch.
He's in touch, so it's the second phase of the penalty.
This has got to go up, and here it comes.
From Kevin Brown, it's sliced and it's crossfield. Gildart gets it. Oh, Gildart's giving it to Tierney. Tierney is running down a blind alley, and Widnes survive to half-time with an 8-point advantage. Corey Thompson, scorer of both of the tries, one in the 10th minute, one in the 29th minute, neither of which converted by the Widnes Vikings. Will that come back and bite them in the second half? We shall wait and see. Remember, Widnes, last time they were here, they sprung an almighty surprise. They won 18-12 here. That was in March. Wigan's first home defeat for 20 months. Widnes then were top of the table. They're playing like a team up at the top of the table here tonight. Half-time they lead, to Dennis Betts' delight, 8-0. Johnson is Craig's dad, and he was taking part in the presentation as well. Alex Murphy, of course, coach of Wigan in the 1984 Wembley final, coincidentally against Widnes, who the team is facing here tonight. So well done to Tom Davis. He is the Young Player of the Year, and he goes home tonight with the Edwards Johnson Memorial Trophy. Meanwhile, Sam Tompkins gets the second half underway. No doubt with the words of wisdom of his coach, Sean Wayne, ringing in his ears, because when we saw Sean in the dressing room at half-time, he was a far from happy figure.
Yeah, Eddie, well, they would have been talking about the defence. It just wasn't good enough in that first half. Widnes only missed 3 tackles, Wigan missed 14. Widnes made 5 breaks, Wigan didn't make 1. So I'm sure Sean Wayne would have been talking about, you've got to be more aggressive, you've got to make sure you're more disciplined with the ball when you're close to Widnes' line.
Well, this is the time maybe where Sean Wayne has to a little bit of a gamble. He's already brought Sam Tompkins up into the battle in regard to looking after the half-back position. Maybe a switch from John Bateman. He's played a lot in the centres. Maybe Bateman should come in. He can create havoc, can Bateman. That's what I'd be doing.
It's a decent kick, but it's very well fielded by Sam Tompkins, close to his own line. Long strides over the 20-metre mark. And then greeted by 3 black-shirted defenders. Whitley was one of them. Herremeyer was another. Big Jay Chapelhow, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, and that part of the game was relentless for Widnes in the first half, but he got 40 more minutes to come up with the result, make sure that they still keep getting the numbers in. Look, Tautai standing up, they get a third man in, they wrap the ball up, they take him to ground, and then they peel off.
Hold. Wait.
Interesting, Tez, you mentioned the fact that Wigan in that first stanza, no clean breaks.
On 3. Still 3.
That's not often from a Wigan outfit, is it?
Oliver Gildart's pass all along the ground is an absolute gift for Joe Mellon.
Yeah, it's creating all sorts of problems in there. I mean,
Sorry, it wasn't Gildart at all, it was Jake Shorrocks, I beg your pardon.
yeah, just a little bit of an inexperience there, and now they've given away a penalty. Well, Phil Bentham has made it quite clear. Remember, he's put Widnes on a warning. Just giving away these silly penalties, both sides.
12 penalties in the match thus far.
Go 1.
There's Jeremiah. This now is Lloyd White. He looks for the runners. It's Brown. He then finds Hanbury. That's a good ball from Runciman to Marsh, but the moment he received that, he was absolutely clattered by Anthony Gelling. Hanbury finds Houston. Here is Chapelhow. Big, tall, rangy 20-year-old Jay Chapelhow. Down he goes under pressure from 3. Jeremiah waits. 10 metres out. Has a little scamper. Finds Brown. Brown drops the shoulder. Good job that Bretherton was there. Helped out by John Bateman. Jeremiah then to Mellor. Mellor back it comes to Hanbury. Good defence from Wigan now on their own line.
Drop that,
Yes, it's a knock on.
There's that squeeze, there's that tackle technique. Wigan Warriors renowned for it in the game. They make it really uncomfortable for the ball carrier through a variety of ways, and
well, you saw there
there's
clearly
a little bit of a tug from Dan Sargentson as well.
Yeah, you can. Williams did had the effective tackle, and Sargentson away from the prying eyes of the officials. They've got away with it. Hanbury realises that he should have had more control of the ball, but Wigan have got away with that one.
I know you mentioned Dan Sargentson and John Bateman separately, and you mentioned that John Bateman might not be a bad option for Wigan to go into the halves. What about Dan Sargentson into the halves, John Bateman into the centres?
Well, he certainly needs to do something, Baz. Sean Wayne realises that they were all at sea.
Well, what was talked about in the dressing room at half-time. Let's hear from Angela Powell.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, Sean Wayne is asking for more composure from his Wigan team, especially as they are now with the ball in hand, and especially in the final third of the pitch. They've not really made most of, or asked questions, should I say, of the Widnes defence. What they really need to do is execute better and make more of the time in attack in that final third. Now, same again, really, from Dennis Betts. He wants them to be, if they'd have been put more smarties in the first half without giving away penalties and causing the errors, then they might be in a better position and ahead in this game. Put out those errors, don't give away the penalties, and they should get through this game.
Well, much better there from Williams. That's a neat little kick into the in-goal area. That's what they need, just to calm down. No need to rush things.
And another big collision here with the advertising hoardings as well.
That was good play there by Williams. It's a lot of pressure on young shoulders.
And he left the field during the first half, didn't he? George Williams, obviously been sorted out. Half-time. Patched up. Here he is again. Oh, Bretherton's gone without it. That's a knock-on.
Oh, dear me.
Eddie, even with that, when that ball goes up in the air, when you're stood there and you're a forward, you want somebody to catch that ball on the full. You've got to come forward. Sean Wayne will not be happy with that. You can't let the ball bounce on the ground. It could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, you could see quite clearly that it's something that professionals do all the time. They take their eye off the ball, see to the oncoming traffic. Result, error.
Well, Widnes lost in Perpignan and then at home to Hull in these Super 8s. They broke their duck with a 40-8 win over Wakefield 2 weeks ago. They ran in 7 tries, so confidence high for this trip to Wigan. And they ended the regular season with a 32-4 home win over the Catalan Dragons too. But that was only their 3rd win in the final 16 rounds. They were up at the top of the table early. They had a great start to the season. They slipped from grace, but the important thing from Widnes' point of view is that here they are in the Super 8s. Their place in Super League next year assured, and they want to be battling the likes of Wigan next year for a place in the top 4. Never mind worrying about the top 8 next year. That's the plan.
Yeah, if they get off a win tonight, psychologically, that's a super boost for them.
Won't help Wigan's cause in the quest for the League Leaders Shield. But that's not on their mind. Here is Hanbury now. That's the ball away once again to Christine. Almost goes around Dan Sargentson, but Sargentson held on to him.
You could see the Wigan defence. They're going backwards. Oh, it's a great kick. Good position, though.
It was a bullet of a kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kicks it into the ground. He's hoping for the ball to bounce up in the air, because all the Widnes players, I think there was 4 or 5 just pushing up really hard and offering themselves as an option.
Yeah, Shorrock did well to defuse it. Here it is again.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that Shorrock put himself in a very, very good position. It's in the defensive line that Wigan's really struggling. Some are coming out of the line, some are coming in on the angle.
Solid run from Tau again, but good stuff defensively inside the Wigan half by Widnes.
But it's all one out.
Williams. Sometimes he can change the course of a game in the blink of an eye, George Williams. So can this fellow Tompkins. It goes high off the boot of Tompkins, but I think that's far too long. And it is too. One bounce and out.
Wasted.
Not the best.
Well, that's a consequence of George Williams taking the ball on the left. He gets tackled, and the next available person, Sam Tompkins, under pressure from Widnes, I have to say, he hoofs it up as high as he can, and it all comes to nothing.
Move! Hold, go 1.
So Widnes back in possession. And this is at Chapelhow.
He's been very good, Jay Chapelhow, since he's come on off the bench.
It's only his 7th appearance of the year, Jay Chapelhow. He's one for the future, isn't he? He's another local boy. Been at Whitehaven on dual registration this year.
Here he goes again, his second carry in the set of 6.
And over halfway on tackle number 4. Hedemeier. Up and over the top, and looking for
great kick.
A lovely kick to the corner, which it exactly is. Tompkins can't go anywhere with that sort of chase and defence.
Well, it's something that Widnes failed to do in the first half. Was they waited until the last tackle. On that occasion they went early. The chase was good. Widnes only have to go through the basics. Just make sure they're pretty confident with their defence. They don't have to panic. They don't have to rush the ball. Just do all the basics right.
Bateman, he saw a gap and went for it. It was closed, and illegally in the end by Runciman.
Well, the official, Phil Bentham, has told both sides, look, give him a chance, and if you drag your arm underneath, he's got to give a penalty. It's not his fault.
What is the strategy for as far as Phil Bentham's concerned, Stuart?
Well, he spoke to Kevin Brown before half-time, a good 5 minutes before half-time. He's probably looking at sort of 14-15 minutes of not too much hassle from Widnes around the play of the ball. But I imagine if we have another penalty there, we may well get a team on a caution.
Sargentson smuggles the ball out to Tierney. Widnes recover in defence, courtesy of Thompson and also Christine, delaying the play of the ball. See, they've done that all night. Williams.
Well, Christine looking over his shoulder, just waiting for the call off the referee whether to get off the player.
That looked a bit high, that tackle, but the referee says play on. Shorrock to Bateman again. Runciman does well. Houston comes in to add a little bit of weight.
Did he ever? It was swinging left arm.
Gelling, hat-trick hero a fortnight ago. Tautai. Back to Gelling. He helps it on back to Bateman. Brown is hunting him. Bateman with the strength, but White coming in as reinforcement. They've gone backwards, Wigan.
It's got to be a good kick. He's given a penalty.
Here is a Widnes penalty. A Wigan penalty.
Do you know, Chris Houston did absolutely everything to pull Lloyd White off here. You can see that they tangled up John Bateman fighting, Chris Houston pulling his teammate off.
Wigan obviously taking it very quickly. Brotherton takes it to within 5 metres of the line.
Oh, there's problems there.
Yes, Lloyd White getting back groggily into defence. Wigan go the other way, and Liam Farrell will touch down. Sean Wayne asked for a response in this second half, and Sean Wayne has got his response. Liam Farrell, the England international, only his second start in 4 months. The first against St Helens 2 weeks ago. And he was injured against the Widnes here in March. This is revenge.
Yes, silly play there. You can see that Lloyd White all over them. They tried as much. Houston tried to get him away. And to give away a penalty on the last tackle is a sin. And they have paid a big price. surely it's an easy 2 point. The conversion will leave Wigan only 2 points adrift. Should be 8-6.
I was watching Sean Wayne's actions and his body language during that half-time, and there was a lot of pushing forward. His hand was forcing forward. Whenever you see Wigan players running, they're getting the noses through. They're winning that play of the ball. They're on the front foot. They're optioned on the last tackle. They're not great, but if they can get themselves in positions as they did on that occasion, good, strong, hard-running like Liam Farrell will get them the points.
Jake Shorrocks kicked 5 goals in the Super 8s against Wakefield here. Here's his first attempt of the night. And he has kicked that. So Wigan right back in the hunt. 2 tries to 1, but importantly, a successful kick from Wigan, and they're within 2 points.
Well, George Williams does a very good job. He gets Christine interested. So Christine is looking at what the Wigan halfback's doing. He doesn't account for that man who hits a very good line. He'll always offer himself close to the try line, Liam Farrell. He's a tremendous player.
So I don't know. I think there's a problem communication-wise for Phil Bentham. That's why the touch judge is on, saying just hang on a minute because we're getting Phil all wired up again. There he is on the sideline. Sorted. Battery replaced in his communication system, I mean.
Okay, mate.
I think that's the blueprint for Wigan in this game.
Panicking now, I'm not going to let him
Position
get that.
is going to be crucial. As we keep saying, they're a little bit clunky in their attack, and whenever they get into good ball, that's the term used by coaches, where they can score those tries. They're not firing on full cylinders, but it's about position. If they can get firing up in the field, they can give themselves enough chances.
Get square, hold, go.
So only 12 minutes of this second half gone. Sean Wayne wanted the response, and Wigan have provided it. And now it's up to Widnes to try and stop them again, but they're on a bit of a roll here, the Warriors. Good hands from Williams, finds Tierney. He's seen a gap down the wing. Tierney cutting inside, good work by Miller.
Had to be as well. He had the step off the left foot there. They've got him stretched, but look at this Widnes defence. Solid. Surely that deserved a yellow card.
Well, was it a slap? Was it an open hand? Was it a grab at the collar?
Was it a grab at the collar, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of shirt. That looks clumsy more than anything else. I don't think there's anything more than a penalty in that.
George Williams does that to players, doesn't he? He's got such strength and agility. Chris Houston's always lunging. He doesn't know whether he's going to kick it, pass it or run, and he lunges and gives the penalty away.
So great chance here for Wigan. They have this second set of 6, repeat set, and Tautai struggles to his feet, gives it to Powell. That's Shorrocks. Bateman, they've watched John Bateman tonight like a hawk, have the Widnes Vikings.
Yeah, he's one of the standouts, isn't he, John Bateman?
Powell to Tautai. Tautai turns and comes back the other way. He goes down, tackle number 3. 8 metres from the Widnes line. Powell again goes centre field. He finds Shorrocks. Shorrocks then to Williams. Good tackle. Very good tackle by Matt Whitley. Powell. Tompkins steps inside, or tries to, Jack Buchanan, then goes for a waltz 360 around him, but down he goes, tackle number 5. Last one coming up then for Wigan here. Powell and Williams dabs the ball to the in-goal area, picked up by Rhys Hambury, who does really well to stay the right side of the whitewash.
Certainly do it, put his body in between the ball and the onrushing traffic.
Look at this though from Wigan now. They're ramping up the pressure.
They've got to watch themselves, make sure they get back to the official.
Well, there seems a lot more urgency from Wigan when they've got the ball, and certainly in this area. This is where they love to bully their opponents. Look at that. It's intimidating defence.
It is. Greg Burke couldn't get away from that. They've only made 6 metres in 4 tackles. And Houston takes it further forward, but not too much further forward. 5 gone, 12 metres gain. Kick from Brown is vital. And it's straight to Sam Tompkins. The crowd rise because back come Wigan.
Well, it was a real struggle, wasn't it? Wigan's defence is very, very solid. And you just feel that they're getting the upper hand now.
And that's the reward for good defence. There you go. Players and the energy battle, the longer this goes, set for set, you favour Wigan. It was a good attacking set, a good kick at the end of it, good kick chase, wonderful defence off the back of it, and then when in possession again, players with more agility, more energy, making the big fellas make mistakes.
Well, with the greatest of respect, there's not much in this, is there, Stuart?
Well, there's contact on the shoulder, there is some contact with the head.
Widnes now are on a warning.
But
Next penalty, someone in the bin.
Yeah, it's probably due, isn't it? There's been a lot of penalties coming against them.
5 in a row to date, second half.
Well, it's cost them, hasn't it? Widnes, it looked as though they had the game under control in the first 40 minutes.
We expected a response, though, from Wigan after the shellacking they must have had from Sean Wayne.
Yeah, but to give away a penalty on the fifth tackle that led to Farrell's try.
Here's
That was a
Williams.
huge sin.
Tompkins wide. Tierney. Great tackle. Great tackle from Corey Thompson over there.
Magnificent ball and all.
Two tries.
Tierney felt that, Eddie.
Absolutely he did. 2 tries he scored. That's as good as a try. That's a try saver from Corey Thompson. Liam Farrell's 10 metres out. Gives it then to Ben Flower. Ben Flower gets to within 4.
Good job, Herremeyer went for the ankles.
Well, Flower's hanging on there to hit Cahill. And Herremeyer's flat out as Williams is missed by Houston and then is clattered to the ground. It is the 5th tackle this. Oh, Buchanan must let him go. He's in the bin. He's in the bin, is Buchanan.
They're committing suicide. Widnes are committing suicide. They've completely lost the plot. They had everything under control in the first half. Look at that. It's got no option but to give the penalty.
Well, George Williams is causing a lot of problems in the second half. He's running at the defensive line, he's taking on those bigger players, and when you get caught at the back of the ruck, you try to slow the man down. That's the 13th penalty now that Widnes have given away in this game. Can't give teams like Wigan just a leg up.
No, you can't. You cannot. I mean, they skirted it in the first half. They were on a warning. Gave the referee Phil Bentham no option, and there might be more to come here, because that's Ben Flower. Powell. That's good work. Good work at the marker from Kevin Brown.
Had to be as well. They're looking stretched. You can see now Widnes have come in on that umbrella defence.
13 against 12. Sargentson.
Great work from Corey Thompson yet again. He's been magnificent tonight.
This is Tierney. The looping pass finds Tompkins, and that is intercepted, and very well intercepted too, from Connor Farrell, the former, well, the Wigan man who is on loan at Widnes for the rest of this season.
Well, he did well, he just tipped it up. Not so sure it was a good option there from Sam Tompkins.
Here he is again, Connor Farrell, up against elder brother Liam tonight now for the first time. He's been on a season-long loan. And I think at one stage we thought he wouldn't be playing much this year. He's come back from a very serious injury. And here he is now at Wigan, his parent club.
5.
Out to impress, no doubt.
Yeah, good work by the centre Runciman. Could see that there was very slow Wigan with the markers. At least Widnes are in the opposition. And that is a fantastic kick.
Isn't it just? Kevin Brown.
That's the game for Widnes over these next 8 minutes. Just slow the game down. Play the game at your pace. Whenever you're attacking, well, if you want to up the speed of the game, you up the speed of the game. When you know you're getting to the end of the set and you're going to turn over the ball, you just take it off the field.
Well, big games are won and lost on how you handle periods of pressure. Widnes were under pressure. Wigan banging at the door, trying to get over the line and get that second try, but they managed to stay in the fight, even though there's a man in the sin bin. Kevin Brown pops up, kicks the ball off the pitch, slows the game down, trying to let that clock tick away. Lovely game management from the experienced halfback.
Heads in, lads.
Saints and Hull tomorrow. The Wembley winners go to St Helens immediately after the draining experience of the Cup final. 7:30 Sky Sports 1. Saturday, 2 matches. Hull KR Lee from the qualifiers. Lee, can they make it back to Super League? Well, that's a big test for them. 3 o'clock Sky Sports 2. Immediately followed by Catalans against the Warrington Wolves, the beaten finalists last Saturday. 5 o'clock, same place. Here's Sargentson.
He's got good balance, Sargentson. He looks to stand up. He's opposite. Skips on the outside of him.
Hasn't Mellor done well tonight in defence? I don't want to hex him and make him miss a tackle, but you know what I mean?
He's a very good defensive player, Joe Mellor. He's got a very good technique, gets under some of the bigger men and really does pick them up, looks to dominate. Talks, he's committed, he communicates with the men outside him. Well, that could be a high shot from Kevin Brown.
He didn't like it, Sam Tompkins.
Well, he chopped him down, didn't he?
What does the referee do here, Stuart?
Sam,
Are they now no longer on the warning because they've got a man in the bench?
Let's just let him get treated first.
They can easily be put back on the warning. You know, he'll probably give him another go. But there's a clear high shot. He's got an option to send him to the sin bin for the high shot as it comes over, or he could put the team back on another warning. You've got plenty of options.
Well, it was more of a drag rather than the swinging arm. He was stepping, wasn't he, Sam Tompkins? That may just save him.
Come on, Kev.
It's the number of penalties that Phil Benson will be concerned about now. He's trying to manage the game.
Well, that's 14 that Widnes have conceded.
It is, and they're all coming one way. So, you know, his experience is going to come to the fore now, how he's going to get through this next 20 minutes.
Back up, lads.
Well, the momentum has certainly gone Wigan's way now, and they really have got their tails up.
This is Ryan Sutton.
No clean breaks in the first half, and there'll be plenty more to come from them. 2 in this second, and the 2 have led to that wonderful try by Farrell.
That's Bateman. See how this set pans out for Wigan and for Widnes defensively. This is Williams.
3.
Chapelhow got to him with Heremiah and Cahill. Williams hurt there. He wasn't impressed with that challenge either. Here is Willie Isa.
4.
Willie Isa goes down tackle number 4. 4 metres away from the line. Hanbury just slowing the play, the ball down. Liam Farrell! He scored the Wigan try. He won't score this time. There's just too many black shirts around him. They've reached the last tackle here, have Wigan. Powell, back it comes, and Sargent's into the power play, releases the ball. Knock on, but who's knocked on?
I think Widnes have knocked on it as the ball's offloaded.
Wigan's head and feet.
The ball's offloaded, Widnes make the play for it. And then the ball goes forward.
Well, surely Widnes, and you can see there, I think you'll find that it's Christine that got the fingertip to it, picked up by Corey Thompson.
I tell you what, if they survive this set, Widnes will believe.
It's what they've got left in the tank when they're carrying the ball forward, though. But they can't make the mistakes. You see, Christine, the effort that the lads are putting in.
Heads in.
They've been along this ground before. Remember 2013, they won 16-6 at Warrington after Hep Cahill was sent off. Can history repeat itself tonight? Charnley always seems to score against Widnes, but not this time.
It went pretty close though, didn't it?
Tompkins trying to burrow his way over. Sheer weight of numbers beat him. Another penalty, this time for offside.
Josh Charnley was offside. Clever play from Sam Tompkins.
Penalty.
And it's another team warning.
Another team warning. Oh dear. That's the last thing Widnes wants.
They could finish up with another one in the bin here.
8 in a row that Widnes have conceded. Gehring was almost through. They are running on empty Widnes. The ball is lost and it's a knock-on.
What a wonderful effort by Widnes. How on earth have they got away with that? That's what's going through the mind of Sean Wayne, the Wigan coach. Gehring has knocked on.
Well, they needed that, didn't they, Steve-O? Running on empty.
Was it a fingertip that helped it out? Maybe there was. Either way, Phil Bentham has said you have lost control of it.
I think it's Greg Burke who just got a little touch on this as he drags his arm out there.
I'm not commenting. Heads in.
Not seen by the officials. Boy, what a relief. Still only 2 points in it.
Huge
it's
relief.
tense.
Huge relief for Widnes.
Widnes are ready. Heads in. Out.
Now then, look where they start this set. Christine can't get any further forward than that.
Move, George!
Well, Widnes will be hoping that
they're
Wigan,
hanging on here.
Yeah,
Widnes.
but Wigan make a mistake and give away a silly penalty with being offside or...
And this is where you need some of your outside backs coming in. Some of the boys who haven't been carrying the ball forward, who've not been targeted in defence. You can see Corey Thompson, now Charlie Runciman, Stephen Marsh is behind the play of the ball. Knowing it's a big period for Widnes this.
Great work, tackle's gone. 6 metres made. Powell meeting Hanbury. Penalty, this relieves the pressure. Willie Isa had a second pull on him and rolled him to the ground.
Well, I said they've got to be very careful, and what do?
See, tackle completed, no need for that from Isa.
Yeah, but Hanbury was smart here. Watch him. Watch Hanbury. He'll throw himself to the ground as though he's been hit by a missile.
Well, he tries to spin out the tackle, doesn't he? Tries to spin out the tackle, land on his front, play the ball quick. It was a good tackle from Sam Powell, though, initially on Reece Hanbury.
Hold, fellas. Go.
Well, can Widnes get their breath back? I mean, defence. It takes its toll. I wonder how much fuel is left in the tank.
They're still down to 12 men.
2.
About 3 minutes remaining for the sin bin.
Go 2.
Brown. Solid enough run again from Colin Farrell.
Move.
Gaining valuable experience in Super League for Wigan next year. This is Hanbury.
4.
Again, lovely little run on that short blind side.
Good work by Shorrocks.
All they have to do is just trundle it through and then let Kevin Brown do the rest.
At Cahill.
Oh, he's got rid of it.
He has, smuggles it back to Mellor. Mellor asked for someone to come back on the inside. It was Whitley. Ooh, that's a bit of a wild pass. Picked up by Cahill again.
5.
This has got to be the ball.
Ryan Sutton with the tackle.
Get some height on it.
And that's what Brown does. Down the left-hand side. Charnley's after it. Charnley collects it. Charnley escapes. But can't get away from Greg Burke.
Tremendous work by Josh Charnley.
Go 1.
Well, he got a penalty out of it as well. He had a second go there.
Sargentson now for Wigan.
2.
Clawed to the ground.
Go. Yep.
By Christine. Here goes Tierney. Burke does well.
3.
Oh, it's another penalty. He's in the bin. He's in the bin. It's Connor Farrell.
What on earth has gone through his mind?
Well,
the tackle has been completed.
It's desperate. Connor Farrell trying to buy that extra second. There was some lovely work done by the back three of Wigan. First of all, Josh Charnley catches the ball, ramps it up, gains 20 metres.
Well, his men are now down to 11 men.
11 men.
That could be the game now. That could be the game. Well, they've got 2 more minutes for the first sin bin.
Well, if they don't make it pay, it'll be amazing. They've got to keep it alive, keep that ball moving.
13 against 11. Flower up the middle. They've got to spin it wide, surely. Maybe not. They come up the middle here with Williams. Williams is looking for support. Ryan Sutton! Does he knock this on? He's not on. He has knocked on. Phil Bentham was right there. Saw the fact that this ball's knocked on. There it is. No need to refer that upstairs to Ben Taylor.
Well, he's not known for big shots, Stephen Marsh, but he saved the try. He thought he was over the line. Ryan Sutton, he's reading it in the paper. The big dive. And all of a sudden, Stephen Marsh comes from nowhere, hits the arm, and he loses the ball.
That was a wonderful effort, wasn't it?
And you just hope, sorry Steve, you just hope for Wigan's sake that they're taking a mental note. Sometimes when a team is 1 player short, sometimes on this occasion 2 players short, you think the spaces might be on the edge, but not always. They've gone up the guts, they've split them up the middle, and that's where the spaces could be for the Warriors.
Here goes Jeremiah looking to go up the middle. Send us your questions via Twitter. We'll do our best to answer them post-match at Sky Sports RL, hashtag AskSkyRL.
Well, it's up
Buchanan waiting for the nod. Great run from Hanbury.
He's had a big game, the full-back.
Last tackle here.
Get it in to the whitewash. Sure, he's gone for the... Well, that's not the best kick. This should be easy.
And it is pouched by Sargentson. It's quick though, Sargentson. They need to get the tackle in, and they do. Courtesy of Stephen Marsh.
Well, one of them's back on the field of play.
Yes, Buchanan's back on. He's returned, so he's had 10 minutes to catch his breath, and probably he's had his heart in his mouth as well, particularly when Ryan Sutton went over for what we all assumed was a try, only to knock it on. Charnley plays the ball. Here goes Gildart. Brought down. 4 tackles gone. Bateman will have a little run at them. Tries to go inside Buchanan, does so. Gets the ball away to Powell. Powell then on to Tompkins. They've got 3 men on the overlap wide. Farrell's one of them. Lewis Teeney's the other.
Oh, what a
Great
tackle.
defence again
Thompson's having on the wing. 2 tries in the first half, and 2 tries he's saved. Magnificent.
Well, that's someone who just backs the speed. Stephen Marsh has saved the try on the left side, then it goes over to the right side. Look at this. The pass was perfect from Liam Farrell. He got Corey Thompson interested. As soon as he gives him that ball, Corey Thompson just keeps backing off, waiting for the defenders to turn up on the inside. As soon as that ball's passed, he's just set off on Lewis Tierney.
Sean Wayne knows his men had a 3-man overlap down that left-hand side. 8-6, what a battle.
Yeah, and he was in the wrong position as well, Corey Thompson. His head, and I'm not surprised that he gave it a little bit of a rub, because he got a real whack in it. He couldn't get the head out of the way, but it didn't matter. He made the contact on Tierney, and that was sufficient.
Get square.
Can they get away with this? This will be an amazing situation if they can hang on and win this game.
They're showing a lot of guts and determination, aren't they, Widnes?
Goal 2.
Oof, that maybe was a touch forward. Houston hangs on to it though.
Again, these are situations, Eddie, where you don't have to overplay the game. You don't have to overplay the set. Just get through your set, get to your kick it long, just chase as hard as you can. Kick it to the corners, don't open the field up by kicking it centre.
Here goes Buchanan, taking on Powell, Sutton and Farrell.
Yeah, they're just doing all the basics now. Now then, surely it's got to go over the whitewash.
Well, Kevin Brown has...
Goal 5.
Well, he's the other way, so they're giving it to Mellor, who'll do the kicking. That's a great kick. That's a heck of a kick.
Is it ever?
Look, it stands in the in-goal area too. Tierney has to do some work. Gets out of jail, of course, but the chase is good.
Boy, that could be the game changer.
Get square, Chris.
With Widnes out on their feet. Okay, they're still hanging on for that 2-point lead.
2.
This is amazing.
Well, 1981-82 was the season when Widnes last won twice at Wigan. They actually won 3 times that season in the Cup, the Lancashire Cup and the old First Division. Is a little bit of modern-day Super League history about to come their way tonight. They're battling and scrapping for their lives. They're down to 11 men at one stage. They're now down to 12 in this second half. The 13 of Wigan coming forward again with Nuasala. He finds Williams, who finds Farrell, backs away from Mellor. Gildart then gives it to Lewis Tierney. There's no way through for Tierney. Whitley and Thompson again sorted that. Here they've reached the last of Wigan. It goes off the boot of Williams and straight into the arms of Rhys Hanbury.
Good pressure from Christine on the last play. You saw exactly where that ball was going. George Williams.
Penalty there as Hanbury.
Why did George Williams go for the second push? He does ever so well and then pulls it up. When all throughout this game the official has said, if you have a second shot, you're going to be penalised, mate.
Time off, we're ready.
You think it was a second shot, or do you think it was a piece of wonderful kidology by that man, Rhys Hanbury?
Well, I think he should have let go of his legs first, and then there wouldn't be any doubt in it. Phil Fletham's obviously under some pressure about the amount of penalties he's given one way.
Rhys Hanbury's aware of the situation, isn't he? He's aware that someone's on his legs.
Touch, by the way.
Touch, I can't believe that.
They haven't found touch. Wigan have got the ball back in the shape of Sargentson, harassed by Cahill.
I cannot believe that Widnes failed to get it over the touchline.
They went for such length on the kick. That was the problem. Here is Liam Farrell again.
2, move back.
Wigan in possession. It should have been Widnes. Sargentson to the rescue. Frank Paul Nuasala. Houston in his face. Lloyd White there as well. Down he goes, tackle number 3, just inside the Widnes half of the field. Tompkins finds Bateman. Bateman tries to get away from Buchanan. Buchanan and Houston do the job on him yet again. Buchanan just hanging on, taking the chance. Powell at dummy half. This now Tautai. Here is Ryan Sutton.
5.
Go to the corner with a kick, surely.
Well, they've reached tackle number 5, and Tompkins is running it with Gelling. Gelling then dumps the ball back to Bateman. Bateman with the kick crossfield. There's 3 Wigan jerseys out there, and it was Farrell who got to the ball first, but here is that man Thompson. Well, can they hang on for 9.5 more minutes, Widnes?
Well, it seemed to be making up that set at the end. Wigan, they didn't know what they were doing. No one really took control, and John Behrman kicks the ball from one side of the pitch to the other.
Jack Buchanan gets them to within 10 of halfway on tackle number 2. Harry would have loved this. Harry Jepson, OBE. You can watch the interview with him. 10:30 Sky Sports 1 on demand as well. Hack forward, this is the free play. They bring it back. Reece Hanbury. He just tidied things up, but it was a mistake way back, 30-40 metres up the field.
Can't believe it. It came from Kevin Brown, and he knows it.
Time's already off, lads.
That could be the last throw of the dice. He just took his eyes off it slightly.
I'm not surprised though, because Anthony Gelling flew out the line, knew that Kevin Brown was the go-to man. He was the one who was going to take control, and all of a sudden he just spots Gelling out the corner of his eye, and that's where he loses focus and concentration.
Will he be talking to John Wells? Will he have enough presence of mind, because that looked like tired body, tired mind then for Kevin Brown? Or will it be Dan Sargentson?
Well, Eddie, I'd be interested in listening, if it is Kevin Brown, in how he handles each and every week being the player that the opposition targets. Now, everybody that plays against Widnes knows that the majority of attacking play goes through Kevin Brown, and that's the reason Anthony Gelling tried to put pressure on Kevin Brown. So I'd be interested in his thoughts on that and how he deals with that pressure.
Differential penalty at the scrum, Stuart.
The top struck for the ball again. You know, the ball wasn't in, he can't strike until the hooker struck for the ball.
Bateman for Wigan in centre field, 10 metres out. Must have long legs, the hooker these days, to try and strike for the ball.
Come on.
Tompkins, Tautai on the inside, trying to get the arm free. Will play the ball here to Powell. Powell then to Williams. Again, Widnes muscle up, and the ball is back with Tautai. Shorrockson wide to Charnley. Charnley goes down, tackle number 3, 5 metres away on this near side. Gelling fancies it himself, trying to use his strength. 3 of them are there to hold him. Tackle 4. Charnley waits once more. Here now is Shorrocks. He then fires the pass to Williams. Williams goes wide to Farrell.
Oh, wonderful
Thompson
work.
again.
Unbelievable.
Release. 5.
Last one coming up then for Wigan.
Go.
Tompkins off the ground one-handed, finds George Williams. His kick is poor.
Well, if Widnes hang on to this, it'll be what I would classify as a great escape. And there isn't a motorbike out there.
And there's no sign of Steve McQueen, but they've lost the ball.
It's knocked on.
They've lost the ball. Wigan rush to the scrum.
Well, mistakes, penalties, they're doing everything to let Wigan into this game, aren't they?
They're doing their best to give the game away, Widnes. They're still down to 12 men.
Still down to 12 men.
2 more minutes remaining.
They've given 17 penalties away. The completion rate has really suffered in this second half. There's some tired bodies out there who are asked to do effort on effort because they're a man down, and they've been 2 men down at certain times in the game.
Well, to be fair, 2 men in the sin bin. Their heads have not gone down. They've tried their damnedest, haven't they, Widnes?
It's been a gritty show from Widnes, come what may. Look at this tackling. Gildart goes down. OK, Runson missed him, but Brown was there. So too Houston. Gelling is waiting. We'll go in centre field and find Charnley. Charnley surrounded by 3 more defenders again.
Well, if Wigan get a penalty, surely they'll go for the 2. Because it's so...
Picked out the air by Kevin Brown. He has got support here on this left-hand side. Charnley cutting down Stefan Marsh.
Well, that's how you read a play, isn't it? The old stage of Kevin Brown gets himself between 2 Wigan players and plucks that ball out of the air.
There's something going on here between Brown and Charnley, I think. The touch judge is on.
Well, it'll be interesting to see which way this goes, because Charnley trapped Brown in, and Brown reacted to Charnley. So
Charnley kept over Brown, and Brown reacted with a flat hand to the head.
Well, the referee and touch judge having a conflab.
Holding on to Brown, not letting him go, and the reaction by Brown. Okay.
It's a big decision, this, isn't it?
I think he's talked about the reaction from Kevin Brown, but was it a penalty against Josh Charnley?
Because you've held on to him, that's why he's reacted.
I think this is going to be a Wigan.
Well, I think it'll be a Widnes
penalty.
I think it'll be a Widnes penalty. The first offence.
Yeah, it should be.
Holding him.
And it should be. And boy, this is a gift.
But Eddie,
heaven sent.
Sorry, Steve, but Eddie, that could have gone either way. That could have gone either way. He's breathed a sigh of relief there, Kevin Brown. He was the man who comes up with the interception. You can see here Josh Charnley at first marker. He gets around, trying to put pressure on Kevin Brown. And then Kevin Brown just trapped in, he just has a little swing. Look at that. That's brilliant, because they were short on numbers there. Kevin Brown gives it to Stephen Marsh.
Well, can they hang on?
6 minutes away from it.
I know, I'm nervous.
Nothing as nervous, I'm sure, as Dennis Betts.
Second.
Remember, 2 tries in the first half, neither of which converted. That's why they have this 2-point advantage.
Goal 2, you just roll into the side.
Lloyd White finds Cahill.
They've got to make sure they try to camp down there, get the second set of 6, maybe even the third set.
Connor Farrell is about to return, by the way. Widnes are going to end this match. Well, they're going to have 5 minutes. They hope, with 13 men on the field. Back he comes, Connor Farrell. Up to 13. What an heroic effort this has been. Mellor is halted. Was that high? The crowd from Widnes behind the post say it was. The referee and touch judges see it another way. Brown again rolls the ball towards Tompkins.
That looked high.
And it was.
Why on earth? And that's what Dennis Betts is saying. Why on earth did he kick through in the first place? He should have been kicking away from the traffic, and then he has a swinging arm to give away the penalty.
There you go. It looks a little bit. I would say that comes off the shoulder first, but I agree with your point, Steve. Kevin Brown is a much better kicker not to be able to find some green.
He put it right into the hands of Sam Tompkins, when all they needed was to just let that clock tick away. And now they're going to be put under pressure yet again.
Yes, they are. There's a big 5 minutes coming here in this match. Terence will be talking to you on Facebook. He'll be out there on the field with the players at the end of this match. He has already exited stage right to be involved in that. So, Frank Paul Nuasala will take it forward.
I can't believe that this Widnes outfit are still getting that defence as solid as it is.
Oh, Beckham has broken through. You've got them, Stephen. Beckham hauled down by Rhys Embry, and he loses the ball.
Penalty.
That should be a knock-on. He's lost the ball after the tackle's complete.
Knock on it is, and that's the view of referee and touch judge, much to the amazement of the Wigan coach Sean Wayne. Much to the relief of the Widnes coach, Dennis Betts.
Well, I put the marker on him, didn't I? I said the defence is pretty solid. Great work by Rhys Embry.
He did, he lost it. Lost
control of it.
Did John Bateman. No hand in here, I don't think.
Yes, it was. He's got away with it.
Rhys Embry, I think he's knocked that. My first instinct would have knocked it out.
I'm not sure. I think his hand's gone inside the ball onto the chest.
When our ball springs up with the pace and power that one did. Nevertheless, Widnes with 4 minutes on the clock. I think if Dennis Betts' side,
that little rub of the green, did they deserve it, do you think?
I think so, and I was going to make the point, if Dennis Betts' side get the points from this, there's the incident again. They'll look at the way that they've performed, they'll look at the effort and resilience they've shown in this game, and it's the blueprint for the next 3 games.
Here is a penalty to Widnes that is manna from heaven.
Is it ever?
No advantage.
They played the ball very quickly.
3.5 minutes remaining. It was a dreadful play, the ball.
Well, where was the interference there?
The interference was before that, before the play of the ball. Phil Bentham's ruled that he lost the ball because of the earlier interference.
Really?
Well, he said no advantage from the interference. In other words, had the ball been got away cleanly, you'd have probably played on.
Well, I tell you what, Eddie, you said, do they deserve the rub of the green? Boy, there's a lot of Irish out there.
There's a lot of former Wigan players out there for Widnes, which is possibly one of the reasons why they are running their blood to water tonight.
It's up the jumper time here, and remember, we said that before, and Kevin Brown came up with a real big knock-on.
They've lost it.
And they've done it again. What on earth? How many options do they want to give to this Wigan outfit?
So that's the 0 tackle. 6 to go from here. Wigan with Nuasala. It was a tackle from Connor Farrell. It's another tackle from Anthony Gelling. It is.
Got to be
But he was going to blow for the penalty. He's allowed the advantage. Here is Williams. Williams wide to Lewis Tierney. Tierney down the line. Will they take the two?
They've got to.
I've not seen any sign from Sean Wayne. There's no kicking tee coming out. They're going for broke. They're going for broke with Bateman. How long left? 1 3/4 minutes, that's all. Set of 6 for Widnes to hang on. 5 tackles remaining for Widnes to somehow stay in this match. Now another penalty.
They've got to take the two now. Surely Sean Wayne is sending the message out.
No, there's no kicking tee coming out. And another team warning. How many's that?
Wigan must feel Widnes are ready to break.
Tompkins gets it wide. It's Tierney. Tierney comes away from the couple. Nella with the tackle. This is Tompkins. Tompkins comes back to Tautai. Tautai bundles his way almost through. Gets away from Hanston. Fires the pass to Farrell. Farrell gives it down. Thompson again. That's on Gildart. Liam Farrell nowhere to go. Tenacious defence. Into the last minute we go. 3 tackles remaining for Widnes to hang on. Williams. Tompkins. Tompkins to Shorrocks. Bateman. Brown misses him. Gehring over the top.
What an error! Widnes look as though they're going to get away with it. Look at the fans that are this.
Well, they are going to get away with it. 30 seconds remaining, that's all. Clock is not off yet. There's no rush to the scrum from Wigan.
Why did they not take the 2 points?
Well,
that is amazing.
A point's neither use nor ornament to them, obviously, although it would have closed the gap on the top 2.
Look at Dennis Betts. He knows. He knows.
Well,
and the black shirts in the frame.
And he knows as well.
Sean
Wayne knows as well. You know, there are a host of ex-Wigan players on the field. There's 2 former Wigan heroes up here on the gantry, Dennis Betts and Mick Cassidy. What a night this is for them. What a night this is for the Widnes Vikings.
Heroic, that's all I can say.
They've been down to 11 men, they've been down to 12 men, they've been on warnings 3 times. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable that they've held on. But hang on, they're going to.
Stand up, 3.
Johnson will get to his feet. They play the ball. Down he goes. There is the final siren. There is the final siren. Widnes have won a truly historic win. Remember, they have beaten Wigan on their own turf twice in a season for the first time since 81-82. What a night for them. What a night for their supporters. And just 2 tries to 1, and the beaming smile of Dennis Betts. This, he says, is where we want to be. Tangling with the best in the business, taking them on in the Super 8s from here on in. Not wondering about the middle 8s and the scramble to avoid relegation. They have done their club proud tonight.
They certainly have, and look at the fans. They are overjoyed, and every right to be. Talk about how many occasions did Widnes offer Wigan a chance to win. I know you say that 1 or 2 points is irrelevant in regards to it, but that I would have gone for the 2 points. I would have taken the draw.
Well, as I think it was Barry who said, they obviously thought that they had Widnes on toast, didn't they, Barry?
In situations like that, the players are in charge. The players will look at their opposition and say, what did they want us to do? Did they want us to kick 2 points, or did they want us to keep going? And if the answer is they want us to kick 2 points, they'll tap it and they'll go, because they'll feel that resolve is breaking.